Good morning, M4. In today's math, we are still going to talk about adding and subtracting fractions. This is to practice you how to simplify your answer, okay? Aside from adding and subtracting fraction, I am gonna give you another type of problem or question, okay? I know that you're all good when it comes to adding and subtracting fraction and mixed fraction. And in this problem or in this video, what if we are going to add or subtract fraction and mixed fraction? For example, I have here on my paper. Wait, let me try. For example, we have the problem. All right, 1. Let me just change my marker. Okay, for example, we have a problem 1 and 1/5 minus 3/4. Now you will see here we have a mixed fraction over here and a proper fraction, and we are going to subtract it. And then you might ask, how are we going to do it, Miss Maria? We have a mixed fraction and this one is not mixed, it's just a proper fraction. So the first thing we need to do is actually quite the same. We are still going to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. But this time, since we only have one mixed fraction, so we only have to convert this fraction to improper fraction. Alright, so we are going to convert it. First, we are going to multiply 5 to 1, so 5 times 1 equals 5. And then we plus the numerator 1, so 5 plus 1 equals 6. So we're just gonna write it down. I'm gonna write 6 here. For our denominator, we are still gonna use the same 5, so I'm gonna write 5 here. Now we have 6 over 5, or 6/5. And now, since this is a proper fraction, it's okay. You don't have to convert it to anything. You just copy it down. So we write minus 3/4. This is it, just like that. And now we just continue with the normal subtraction or addition we have, like the process. Now this time we can use crisscross method. You just multiply your denominators. So 5 times 4 equals 20, and then crisscross. 4 times 6 equals 24. I'm going to write 24 here. And 5 times 3 equals 15. And then since we have 24 and 15 there, and we already have our denominator, we are just going to always check the sign. We are just going to subtract it. So 24 minus 15. So 24 minus 15, we have 9. So I'm going to write 9 here. Now we have the answer 9 over 20, or 9/20. Now think, do we still have to simplify 9 and 20? We don't have to. So there's no same number that can be divided 9 and 20. Therefore, 9/20 is our final answer. So 1/5 minus 3/4. Answer is 9/20, just like that. Okay, I'll give last example. Let's say this time we're gonna do addition. Let's say we have the fraction of 4/3 plus 3 and 4/6. Now this time we have 4/3 plus 3 and 4/6. We are still going to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. This time we have 3 and 4/6 as our mixed fraction, so we convert it to improper. 6 times 3 equals 18 plus 4, so that's going to be 22. So I'm just going to write 22 down here. And then the denominator will still be the same, 6. I'm just going to put it here, 6 plus, and then we have 4/3. So I'm just going to copy 4/3 here. So we have 4/3. Now we have 4/3 plus 22. to 6. Now, normally, you guys, most of you do crisscross method here, but I will give you can, of course, you can use crisscross if that's what you are comfortable with, but make sure to simplify your answer. But on this example, I am going to use the times table or the multiple. I'm going to check for the least common multiple. And since 6 is a multiple of 3, if we're going to check our times table 3, we know that 6 is in 3, like 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 6 is in 3. So I'm going to use 6 as our denominator. So I'm just going to copy this fraction since I'm going to use 6 as denominator. Since it already have 6, I'm just going to copy 22 over 6. Then plus, I'm going to copy the sign. And for this fraction, I'll think, since I'm going to use 6 for denominator, what do I multiply with 3 to get 6? That will be 2. So I'm going to multiply the denominator 3 with 2. 3 times 2 equals, yes, equals 6. Now we have the same denominator, 6 and 6. Since I multiplied the denominator with 2, I am also going to multiply our numerator with 2. So 4 times 2 equals 8. So I'm going to write here 8. Now we have 8, 6 plus 22, 6. And since we have the same denominator, we are just going to copy the denominator 6. So I'm just going to write 6 here, and I'm going to add, since we have plus sign here, so I'm going to add the numerators. 8 plus 22 equals 30. Excuse my writing for a while. Yes, now we have 30. Now think 30 and 6. Do we need to simplify 30 and 6? Yes, we can simplify 30 and 6. If you think 3 can divide 30, 3 can also divide 6. But wait, can we use 6 as well? Of course we can use 6. We can divide 6 on 6, and we can also divide 30 with 6, because, okay, I'll show that. Let me just write it. So I'm going to divide it with 6, because 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. Yes, so therefore this is our simplified answer. 5 over 1 is our simplified answer for 36. Okay, so 5-1. Since this answer is since this answer is improper fraction, the numerator is bigger than your denominator, we are going to divide it. Since we have mixed fraction over here, so we are going to divide it. So it's just easy. It's divided by 1. You don't have to think a lot. 5 divided by 1. Anyway, I'm gonna show it. So I put here, I put 1 outside because 1 is our denominator, and I put 5 inside because 5 is our numerator. So 5 divided by 1. How many 1 will go inside 5? Of course, there are 5. So we write 5 on top. We write 5 on top here. Now 5 times 1 equals 5. So I'm gonna write 5 here. Take away 0. Therefore, our answer is 5. It's actually, you don't have to do this. It's obvious here. When you see a denominator 1, the answer is usually, of course, the numerator. So, therefore, on this problem, 4/3 plus 3 and 4/6 equals 5. 5 is our answer. Okay? Simple as that. So, for your activity, you will be answering fraction, addition and subtraction, mixed fraction, addition and subtraction. Also, you will find this kind of problem: fraction plus or minus mixed fraction. Okay, so you know how to do this. Is just how you're going to do it. And in the second part of your activity, there's one problem, just one problem on the second part of the activity, that you will be given choices. There's a problem or a question, and you will be given choices. There are four choices in the there are four choices for that problem. You have to choose one, and after you choose one, on the right side of your paper you need to show your solution. How did you come up on that answer? Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.